Whoop whoop juggalos, whoop whoop juggalettes, whoop whoop ninjas, ninjats.
My story takes place 19 years ago. I'm a female and I was 16 at the time. I'm 5'7", I was about 130 pounds. And I like to think that I'm strong, but I couldn't take on two young men. So, it begins with my mother and stepfather going away on vacation and leaving my 17-year-old sister and I home alone. They did this quite often. My parents were not winning any parenting awards, that's for sure. My sister and I didn't get along either. She was a nasty piece of work. Luckily, she decided to go stay at a friend's house while my parents were away. I was nervous about being alone, so I had my boyfriend staying with me. He was a pugnacious dickhead, but I'm glad that he was there. Brett and I were at my house, and we had just started messing around when I heard a really loud knock at my door. My room was in the basement, but at the landing area between the stairs. You know how some staircases are broken up and there's a turnaround area, that's the landing. There was a window that I could see the stairs that led up to the alcove of our front porch. I could see two people standing there. Just as I was peeking out to see them better, one of them saw me. I remember feeling the breath sucked out of my chest. There were two young men standing on my porch. It was almost midnight and I had no idea who the hell they were. The guy that saw me let his friend know. They both looked in the window and asked me to come to the door. My boyfriend had gone upstairs to open the door and I remember freaking out because I had told him not to. He was one of those guys that thought that he was Mr. Tough Guy and believed he could fight anyone. He was telling the guys to leave just as I joined him at the door. They saw me and called me by name and asked for me to let them in. Brett told them to go and get lost. One guy, I think he said his name was Wes or Les, something like that, said, "Come outside, we just want to talk to you," to my boyfriend. I said, "No, thanks, we're going to bed now," and shut the door. I was really confused and getting very frightened. They stood on my doorstep for a few minutes, then started knocking again. Wes, or Les, explained to me through the door that he was my sister's friend, and that she had told him I was alone at home and that they should come by. I knew my sister and I believed them. That did not, however, make me stupid. I told them to leave, and at that, they started kicking the door. It was shaking and I seriously feared that it wouldn't hold up. I was so scared that I ran into my kitchen to call the police. I was assured that they would be there very soon and to lock the doors and stay on the phone. Meanwhile, Brett was still yelling at me, which only served to piss these guys off more. I begged him to shut up, but he wouldn't listen to me. I was locking all the doors and the windows upstairs, while Brent went down to check the doors. Down in the basement, there was a huge mudroom area, and it had a thick wooden door made of 2x4 planks, kind of like a barn door. The door had a big old lock on it, some spring-loaded turn bolt, and also had a plank to set across it, like a barricade. One of these guys was pounding on this door, and Brett heard him tell the other guy to go try the back door. This stupid door was one of those 1960s things that had a happy little square window, right at face level, with a little curtain across it. I was at this door, trying to jam a chair under the flimsy knob, when I looked up and saw the unnamed guy just looking in at me. I screamed, and the dispatcher asked me if I was okay. I barely squeaked out that one of the guys was looking right at me through the window. He was older than me, probably about 20, and he was tall, and he looked scary as hell. His dark eyes were drilling into me, and he wore this creepy, placid smile on his face. I had never seen this man before, but he knew my name. He tapped on the window with one finger, never breaking eye contact, and said, "Becky, let me in." I couldn't breathe. The knob was rattling as he was messing with it, and he said again, "Let me in, Becky. I just want to see if you're okay. I just want to talk." I was just 3 feet from him, with my back pressed to the fridge, when he suddenly started beating on the door and screamed.
"Let me the fuck in this house. If I have to break in, I'll kill you both. So just open the fucking door."
He looked maniacal. Then there was a loud knock at the front door, and the man went silent. He gave me the most hateful sneer I'd ever seen. I heard shouting, and he ran down the back stairs and into the woods along the back of my yard. Brett had gone to the door. It was the cops. There were 2 female officers at the front door. One was just starting to raise her voice, asking where I was when I came to the door, too. I was so relieved then, I started sobbing. I told them they had run away through the woods. Luckily, the woods were not deep. They actually ran along the bank of a large river, and there was a bridge just up from where the woods met the road. One officer ran around the back, while one stayed to get a description and take my statement. Officer 1 came back and spoke to Officer 2, and said that she saw them running across the bridge. They both left in a hurry, hopped in the cruiser and sped off. I was still crying and shaking, but I was absolutely furious at Brett for riling them up like that. I went to make myself some tea, thinking of all the ways I could kill my sister when she got home. I had so much anger, fear and adrenaline pumping through me that I could have ripped her to shreds at that moment. 20 minutes later, the cruiser came back. There were 2 guys sitting in the back seat, and the officers wanted me to confirm it was the right guys. I looked through the window and saw them. They still looked terrifying to me. They were in cuffs and couldn't get to me, but I didn't want to get too close to them. They wouldn't look at me. I confirmed it was them, and we spoke a bit. I told the cops about my sister, suggesting that these 2 men should come to see me. Officer 2 kind of mumbled, "What a bitch," and I had to agree. I pressed charges for attempted forcible entry, property damage. They had broken a window in the living room, trespassing, disorderly conduct, and attempted assault. Initially, they both pleaded not guilty, but later admitted to some of the charges. They both got 18 months in jail and were forbidden to contact me or my boyfriend ever again, and were instructed to be at least 500 meters from me at all times. I confronted my sister about it, and of course, she denied it, then laughed about it. She was an awful person. I have no idea what their true intentions were, as they maintained that they were just there to talk to me, but I'm thankful I didn't have to find out. If I want to make this story easier to understand, I have to tell you about myself. I'm a 15-year-old girl who's 5'5", thin, and quite weak. During the summer, I was given a job babysitting my dad's co-worker's kid, who's only 3 years old, and I had no problem babysitting him. He's got great manners for his age, and doesn't make any fusses about anything. And $50 a night, I just couldn't say no. So when it came to the night of babysitting, I decided to arrive about 10 minutes early, ask about allergies and so on. The parents' names were Megan and Charlie, and the kid's name is Timmy. So Megan and Charlie left, and I was told I would stay the night, and I had no problem since my house was no more than half a block away, and if something happened, I could take Timmy back to my place. Now the day was pretty calm, and I sat outside watching Timmy play with his trucks as I pet their family dog Jax, who was a massive German Shepherd, and a total sweetheart. That is, until it came to supper time, when I sat Timmy down at the table giving him his dinner, and someone interrupted us by knocking at the front door. Not thinking much of it, I answered, seeing a scruffy young man, no older than 25, standing there.
Hey, I lost my phone. Can I use yours?"
Honestly, that's all he said to me, and he gave off an odd vibe, so I made sure that there was a screen door separating us. Well, sorry, but my phone's dead. I lied to him, keeping my hand on the main door, prepared to slam it and lock it.
Okay, well, how about you charge your phone and I can just wait inside?
The guy was eager to get into the house, and all my senses were heightened. "No, just go, please," I said sternly, closing the door and locking it immediately, turning back to Timmy, who was finishing eating at this point. After cleaning dishes and getting Timmy all dressed for bed, we sat down and I let him watch a bit of TV. So that meant an hour and a half of kids programs for me. But I had my phone and its charger, so I played a game that didn't require much of my attention, so I could still watch the kid. All was calm in the evening as I put him to bed and sat myself down on the couch, finally eating supper myself. As I was eating, I heard Jax freak out, barking aggressively, before hearing him whine. Then the door to the shed slammed shut. I panicked and looked into the window, seeing the window across the room to me. And then I noticed the man from earlier storm towards the house. Now, the back doors are glass, and I thank God that I put the blinds down on them. So it gave me all of 10 seconds to grab a knife from the knife block and bolt back up the stairs to the kids' room, seeing Timmy awake, asking if Jax was okay. I had to lie and told him that we had to play hide and seek, which he agreed to. I crept to the bathroom, him in my arms, and opened a small closet that, if you don't pay attention to, you wouldn't even know it existed. I put him in the closet and I told him to be very quiet. Since this kid did everything I said, he did so. I crept back down the staircase, hearing the back door open, and 2 sets of steps rushing through the first floor, figuring out plans, who went where and who did what.
Wrong damn size.
Shit, what do I do?
These ones.
I panicked to myself,
Bigger boy.
before shakily pulling out my phone and calling the police. This is 911. What's your emergency?
Fucking A.
I hear the operator,
Fucking A's.
putting me in a temporary state of relief. I'm babysitting, and there's 2 men in the house. Help! I pleaded, gripping the knife, pushing myself into the corner. What's your address? I say the address, before looking up and seeing the first guy towering over me, with the biggest grin on his face. I scream, pushing him, not using the knife and bolting down the stairs, knowing he would follow me and not bother looking for Timmy. As I ran down past the second man, I remembered I was still on the phone with the operator, which I had stuffed into my back pocket at this point, which meant they could still hear me. Who are you guys? And why are you here? I screeched, slowly pushing myself into the kitchen, holding up the knife as they cornered me. There was no answer from them, as the second pulled out a machete. They approached me slowly as I'm cornered into the kitchen, prepared to accept death or worse. And I hear the police break in, guns in hand, and they storm towards us as the men tried to make a run for it, and were ultimately caught. I took a moment to breathe, before one of the officers asked if I was okay, and where Timmy was. I told him I was fine and showed him upstairs to the bathroom closet, taking out Timmy. Police directed me outside when I told them about the dude in the shed. They brought me Jax, who wouldn't leave our side or let the police near us without me telling him it was okay. My dad and Megan and Charlie rushed over, panicked, asking if we were okay. I told them yes, and Timmy said he won the game of hide and seek, which wasn't easy to explain. Ever since that day, I haven't been able to babysit that family without panicking as soon as the dog freaks out.
Fuck it. I don't feel like taking it apart to put batteries in right. Get all that fucking screws from that. It's creepy. Peace out, motherfuckers.